oh why do I have a podcast? When I initially started this podcast, it was strictly just to educate the parents on my thoughts on what the expectations were with any organization I was part of or any team I was coaching. It's just to educate the parents so they know what they're getting themselves into, and they try to fully understand the best way to develop their kids. So that's why I started, and it just kind of metastasized in something else where I just talk about anything. So I'm going to get back to that. I have a parent meeting today, and we're going to be talking about what the expectations are and what we're ultimately trying to do. And this is what we're ultimately trying to do. My vision, my belief system is finding a way to get your child to be so technical with the ball they won't lose a ball in a 1 versus 3 situation in a 5x5 yard space. That's a goal. Can they get out of that and keep it? And the answer is yes. It just takes so much training, so much discipline to be able to get to that point. Now, having said that, in order to get to that, there's the game aspect of it that you have to allow your kids to fail. And this is where the loss in translation, loss of execution appears. Its ugly head. It's when we get to game time. That's where it's kind of ruined, because you can, everyone loves the dribbling and, oh, look, they're learning new moves and stuff, but they won't allow them to use it. And then I like teaching kids how to dribble because I want them to not be scared to have the ball. If they're not scared to have the ball, the rest of the game's easy. Teaching how to defend, how to pass and receive, that's so much easier than it is to teach them to be confident with the ball and learn escape moves in every situation. I mean, that takes a lifetime. It takes a community to get the kids to do that, because you have to be embraced in a culture that's soccer, including your home. But so the discussion we're going to have tonight is how do we maintain the focus on that of giving the kids confidence with the ball, because we want them to be not scared to have the ball, because then they'll have an advantage over their competition. So in the games, we have to find a way to stop focusing on winning. We need to focus on individual development. So I'm going to introduce recording your children when they play. You got to record them every time they take a touch on the ball. And I covered this a couple of podcasts ago. Literally write on a piece of paper how many times they touch the ball, how many times they pass the ball forward, backwards, how many times they give the ball up, forwards and backwards. Those things need to be recorded, and then you can see a progression and make that the focus. And then the reinforcement of them winning and losing should be only focused on individual moments of receiving the ball and the decisions they make. So that's what we have to go through. So the rules of engagement are, so we're going to base this on 10 years and younger. Just give you a thought process here. Well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Let's go back to the black belt thought. They need to advance. The first phase of development in the game, according to me, is here are the rules they need to apply. For every time they get the ball, they need to take a touch and then make a pass on 100% certainty law, meaning they're 100% certain they're going to find a pass and to their team. Forward, backwards, doesn't matter. But they're going to keep the ball until they do so, and then it's okay to lose it dribbling, trying to find that pass. Every kid's in a different situation. Some can find passes earlier, some it takes more touches to pick up their head to find it. Everyone's in a different skill set as far as comfort with the ball and their comfort with their body to make those decisions. So they receive the ball, take as many touches to find a pass, any direction. Once they're able to get through that and make it, then we advance to the next level, which is get the ball, and same laws apply, connect in the pass, but you must try to find forward passes, but dribble as much as you want to find the forward passes. It's okay to go backwards, but the goal is to find forward passes, and you just change the point system. So if they're on phase 1, you're getting points for going forward, backwards, everything. And then phase 2, you just change the point system of every time you pass the ball forward, you're getting, say, 5 points. And then backwards, you get no points because the focus is going forward. Or whatever point system you do, it doesn't matter. Just skew it to the objective. And then phase 3, you'll add the tactical side to it, where you're making it more about team and team goals. But can't do that until the first and second phase is really focused on. And then you can introduce one-touch passing and all that stuff and change the point system. But that's how you teach. You have to put them in situations doing that. But you have to be careful on how you adjust the rules where they can't think and they can't problem solve. They can't get out of situations because they're playing a rule game that's forcing them to play a certain way versus forcing them to think. So it's a hard message to sell. Even what I just said probably confused a lot of people when I try to explain it, because it's hard to explain my thoughts. And that needs to be focused. That absolutely needs to be the focus. Needs to be about individual development. So if they lose 3-0, but if they're focused on the points, or even they lose 5-0, but if they're focusing on the point system, they'll play a certain way where they're actually keeping the ball getting better, because every time your child gets a ball, they're going to get better if they're able to think. If they're not able to think because they're scared, they're going to get worse. And that's the message I'm trying to get out. And I'm going to repeat this message again probably tomorrow, because I'm going to listen to this podcast. It's going to be garbage or whatever. So be it. But I'm going to stick to the One Take podcast. Unless I get interrupted by a Amber Alert, which was annoying, and it takes over my podcast because I'm doing it from my phone. And I hear that beep, beep, beep. The only thing I was hoping for was thunderstorms were coming. But no, someone took a kid. Morons. All right, that's my podcast. Sticking to it. I'm out. Peace.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.